The night was dark, cold, and heavy with rain. Streetlights shook in the wind, and the city looked almost empty. Only one taxi moved through the wet roads, a yellow car with old seats and a cracked dashboard. The driver inside was Marcus, a 32-year-old black single dad who worked long hours to support his 7-year-old son, Leo. Marcus was tired, but he kept driving. He needed extra money this week. Rent was late, and Leo needed school shoes. Marcus promised his son, "Daddy will fix everything." And Marcus was a man who kept his promises. As he drove through a quiet road, his taxi radio suddenly made a loud static sound. Breaking news. The billionaire heiress, Isabella King, is missing. She was last seen near the old bridge. Police believe she is in danger. Marcus frowned. Billionaire news did not matter to him. Rich people had rich people problems. He just wanted to finish his shift and go home to Leo. But everything changed in the next 30 seconds. Through the rain, Marcus saw something, or someone, fall in the middle of the road. A figure in white stumbled and collapsed right in front of his taxi. Marcus hit the brakes hard, the car sliding on the wet road before stopping. His heart began to race. He stepped out, rain hitting his face, and rushed toward the fallen person. It was a woman. She looked young, maybe in her early 20s. Her clothes were expensive but torn. Her lip was bleeding, her hair messy, and her eyes filled with fear. She tried to speak but her voice broke. Before Marcus could ask anything, she grabbed his shirt with shaking hands and whispered, "Please, don't let them find me." Marcus looked around. The road was empty. No lights, no people. Only the sound of rain. "What happened? Are you hurt?" he asked. But before she could answer, two black SUVs appeared far down the road. Their headlights cut through the rain like knives. The woman's eyes widened in terror. She grabbed Marcus's face and whispered desperately. Rain hit the taxi roof like thousands of tiny stones as Marcus drove fast through the empty streets. His hands tightened on the steering wheel. In the back seat, the billionaire heiress Isabella King lay unconscious, her head resting against the window. The road ahead was dark, and the fear in Marcus's chest grew heavier with every passing second. He kept checking the mirror. No SUVs. No headlights. But the silence scared him even more. Marcus finally turned into an old industrial area filled with locked factories and broken streetlights. He stopped near an abandoned repair shop, hoping it was hidden enough. "Come on, wake up," Marcus whispered as he gently shook Isabella's shoulder. Isabella opened her eyes slowly, her breathing short and fast. She looked terrified, like she had just escaped from hell. "Where are we?" she asked weakly. "A safe place. I think," Marcus replied. "Who were those people? Why are they chasing you?" Isabella pressed her hand to her forehead. "You shouldn't be here. You shouldn't help me." "Well," Marcus sighed, "too late for that." She sat up, shivering from the rain and fear. Her eyes scanned the broken walls, the dark corners, and then landed on Marcus. There was confusion, but also a strange trust forming between them. "You saved me out there," Isabella whispered. "Thank you." Marcus rubbed the back of his neck. "About that kiss, what was that?" "I didn't understand anything." Isabella nodded slowly. "They use face scanners. Heat mapping, skin pattern reading, everything. If they scanned me alone on the road, they would know it was me." "So you needed a kiss?" Marcus raised a brow. "It blocks the scanner," she said quietly. "Two faces close together create a mixed pattern. They cannot read identity." She looked away as if embarrassed. "It was the only thing that could save me in that moment." Marcus laughed nervously. "Well, next time, just a warning would be nice." But Isabella didn't smile. Her eyes were still full of fear. "They are not normal men," she said. "They work for someone very powerful." "Who?" Marcus asked. Isabella hesitated. Her lips trembled. My own family. A long silence filled the air. Marcus felt cold inside. Why would your family want to hurt you? She took a deep breath. Because I know something. I found out things I wasn't supposed to see. Illegal deals, hidden money, things that could destroy our company if they went public. Her voice cracked. My cousin, Adrian, wants full control. And he will do anything to stop me. Marcus didn't know what to say. He was just a taxi driver. He woke up every day, dropped his son at school, worked long hours, and tried to survive. This world, billionaires, power, violence, felt too big, too dangerous. I don't belong in this, he murmured. I just want my son safe. Isabella looked at him with sad eyes. I understand. But now, because you helped me, they will think you're involved. Marcus froze. What do you mean? Isabella pointed at the taxi window. They saw your car. They saw you with me. Great, Marcus groaned, rubbing his forehead. Just great. Suddenly, a loud metallic noise echoed outside the shop. Both froze. Isabella grabbed Marcus's arm. Did you hear that? Marcus slowly moved toward the broken window and peeked outside. At first, nothing. Just rain and darkness. Then. Footsteps. Slow. Careful. Heavy. Someone was outside. Marcus's heart pounded loudly. He stepped back, whispering, "We have to leave. Now." Isabella nodded quickly. They found us. Marcus grabbed his keys. He checked the exit door, rusted, damaged, risky. Then he looked at the back window that led to a narrow alley. That way, he whispered. Isabella followed close behind him. The footsteps grew closer. A shadow passed the window. Isabella covered her mouth to stop herself from screaming. Stay behind me, Marcus said. They crawled through the broken window and landed in the alley. The rain hit their faces again. Marcus helped Isabella stand, and together they ran into the cold night. Behind them, the shop door creaked open. Whoever was searching for them had finally arrived. If they scan my face, they will kill me. Please, kiss me. Right now. Marcus froze. What? Kiss. Please, she cried. It will block the scanner. Just do it. The SUVs were coming fast. Marcus didn't understand anything. Who were these people, why were they chasing her, and why did she need a kiss? But something inside him, maybe fear, maybe instinct, told him she was telling the truth. And in the next moment, Marcus leaned forward and kissed her. It was not romantic. It was not planned. It was pure survival. The SUVs slowed down as they passed. A red scanner light moved across the street. The kiss covered the girl's face, hiding her identity. After a long, tense second, the SUVs drove away. Marcus slowly pulled back. The woman collapsed into his arms, unconscious. His breath shook. His hands trembled. Who are you? He whispered. He carried her into the taxi. Rainwater dripped from her dress. Marcus noticed something shiny near her hand, a golden card. He picked it up. His eyes widened. Isabella King. The missing billionaire heiress. She had been all over the news. Posters everywhere. Police looking for her. Criminals chasing her. And now she was in his taxi. Great, Marcus muttered. Just what I needed. He tried calling 911, but his phone showed no signal. He tried again. Nothing. Almost like someone was blocking the network. He looked at the unconscious girl. He looked at the dark road behind him. He looked at the rear mirror, no SUVs, yet. Marcus had two choices. Leave her there, or help her. He remembered Leo's face. He remembered his promise. Daddy always comes home. With a heavy breath, Marcus started the engine and drove away fast. But one thing was clear now. This was not a normal night. This was the night that would change his life forever. Rain poured harder as Marcus and Isabella ran through the narrow alley. The sound of their footsteps splashed against muddy puddles. Behind them, the abandoned shop door slammed open, and a flashlight beam cut through the darkness. Someone had entered the place they had just escaped from. Marcus held Isabella's wrist and pulled her forward. "Keep moving," he whispered. His breath was short, but his mind stayed sharp. His only thought was survival, hers and his. They turned a corner and reached the back of an old factory building. Rusted metal pipes lined the walls, and the air smelled like wet dust. Marcus stopped to catch his breath. "Are they still behind us?" Isabella asked, trembling. "I don't know," Marcus replied, trying not to panic. "But we can't stay here." Isabella leaned against the wall, trying to calm herself. Her body was exhausted, and fear made her legs weak. She looked at Marcus, this stranger who had already saved her twice, and whispered, "I'm sorry you got pulled into this." Marcus gave a small, tired laugh. "Yeah, me too." For a moment, they both stood silently, listening to the rain and distant traffic. Then Isabella spoke carefully. "Marcus. I need your help." Marcus shook his head immediately. "No. Absolutely not. I've already done more than enough. I have a kid waiting for me at home. I can't keep risking my life." "I know," Isabella said softly. "I know you want to protect your son. But listen." She stepped closer. "There's only one place I can go. One safe place. My private jet. It's ready at the North Valley airstrip. And you want me to take you there?" Marcus asked. "Yes," she said. "If I reach that jet, I can disappear. I can contact people who can protect me. I can expose my cousin's crimes." Marcus looked troubled. "Isabella, I'm not a bodyguard. I'm a taxi driver. They have guns, drones, face scanners, whatever that is. I'm just trying to live a normal life. And if they think you know anything," Isabella whispered, "they will not let you live that normal life." Marcus swallowed hard. She was right. He was already involved. Even if he tried to walk away, those men had seen his car. They had seen her with him. They would come for him eventually. "What do you want from me?" Marcus finally asked. Isabella reached into her pocket and pulled out a small metal chip. "This has proof," she said. "Bank transfers. Documents. Illegal deals. Everything Adrian did." Her hands trembled as she held it. "He wants me dead before I can release this." Marcus stared at the tiny chip. All this trouble, for something so small. "Marcus," she continued, "if you help me reach the airstrip, I promise I will change your life. I will pay you more than you could earn in 10 years. I'm not asking for charity. I'm offering a deal." Marcus stepped back, shocked. "Money, a lot of money. Enough to fix everything. Enough to give Leo a future. But at what cost? He could lose his life before sunrise." Suddenly, a loud buzzing sound echoed above them. Isabella's eyes shot upward. A drone. A small black drone hovered over the alley, its red scanner light flashing. Marcus grabbed Isabella's hand. "Run." They sprinted across the alley as the drone alarm beeped loudly. Red laser lines scanned the area, trying to detect faces. Marcus ducked behind a dumpster, pulling Isabella down with him. "She was right," Marcus whispered. "They're tracking her every move." The drone lowered closer. Isabella covered her face. Marcus shielded her with his body. The scanner flashed red. Then yellow. Then error. The drone buzzed in confusion, unable to identify them in the shadows. "Now," Marcus said. They ran again, turning into another street, and finally stumbled behind an old shopping center. Both collapsed, breathing heavily. "We don't have time," Isabella said. "They are upgrading their search. Soon they will scan the whole city." Marcus stared at her fear, at her determination. Finally, he nodded. "Okay. I'll get you to your jet." Isabella's eyes filled with relief. "Thank you, Marcus. But listen," Marcus added firmly. "If anything happens to me, promise me my son will be safe." Isabella placed a hand on her heart. "I swear." A deal was made. A dangerous journey had begun. And the night was far from over. Marcus and Isabella moved through the rainy city like shadows. Every corner felt dangerous. Every passing car sounded like a threat. Marcus kept his hood low and checked behind them every few seconds. Isabella stayed close, holding the little metal chip that carried proof against her cousin. North Valley Airstrip was still miles away. First, they needed safety. Marcus stopped in front of an old warehouse near the river. The place was dirty and half abandoned, but it was dry inside, and the broken walls gave some cover. With slow steps, they entered. Inside, the air was cold, filled with the smell of rust and old wood. A few pigeons flew away as they stepped in. Water dripped from a hole in the roof, creating small echoing splashes. Mark sat on a crate to catch his breath. Isabella wrapped her arms around herself, shivering from the cold. "Are you okay?" Marcus asked. "No," she admitted. "But I have to pretend to be." Marcus nodded. He respected her honesty. Most rich people pretended to be unbreakable. Isabella looked human, scared, tired, but fighting. After a quiet moment, Marcus said, "Tell me everything. If I'm risking my life, I need to know the truth." Isabella lowered her eyes. "It started 3 months ago. I found files hidden in my father's old office. Files that showed money being stolen, land being bought illegally, and deals made with violent groups. Adrian, my cousin, he handled those deals." "So you confronted him?" Marcus asked. "No. I made the mistake of telling a board member I trusted." She let out a sad laugh. "He told Adrian everything." Marcus shook his head. "And Adrian wants the company for himself." "Yes," Isabella whispered. "My father loved me, and he wanted me to take over one day. But Adrian thinks I'm weak. He thinks a woman shouldn't lead." Her voice cracked. "He wants me gone." Marcus felt anger rising inside him. "He doesn't even care your family." "No," Isabella said. "To him, power is more important than blood." Marcus sighed heavily. He had met people like that before, people who valued money over humans. But hurting family? That was another level. Isabella sat beside him. "Marcus, why did you help me? You could have driven away. You could have saved yourself." Marcus stared at the floor. "Because you were in danger. Because you're someone's daughter. Because if Leo was in trouble, I would want someone to help him too." Isabella's eyes softened. But the moment of calm ended too soon. A buzzing sound came from the far corner of the warehouse. Isabella jumped. What was that? Marcus stood quickly and moved toward the noise. He found a small security box fixed to the wall, still working, and a green light blinking. "A camera," he whispered. The light suddenly turned red. Marcus's heart dropped. "This place is connected to the city's old security grid. Someone just saw us." Isabella's face turned pale. "Adrian's people have access to all city feeds. They can trace signals. We have to go." Marcus grabbed her hand, but before they moved, a loud sound blasted from outside, sirens. Blue and red lights flashed through the cracks. Isabella panicked. "It's the police." Marcus froze. How did they find us so fast? Isabella stepped toward the broken window. 2 police cars blocked the road outside. Officers with flashlights moved around. "They're here for me," she whispered. But then something strange happened. One officer shouted, "That's the taxi driver. The kidnapper." Marcus's heart stopped. "What?" Isabella covered her mouth in horror. "No. Adrian must have sent a fake report." Marcus's picture appeared on the police car screen. Marcus Dawson, suspect in the kidnapping of Isabella King. "That monster," Isabella whispered. "He's framing you." Before Marcus could respond, the warehouse door rattled violently. "Marcus Dawson. Come out with your hands up." Isabella grabbed his arm. "Don't go out. They won't believe you. They will hand you to Adrian." Marcus felt trapped. He had a criminal label now. He had police outside and killers searching for them. "What do we do?" he whispered. Isabella's eyes filled with fear and determination. "We run." Again. The door slammed harder. "No more time." Marcus looked at Isabella. "Stay close." He smashed the back exit open. And together, they disappeared into the stormy night. Once more cold wind hit Marcus and Isabella as they ran out of the warehouse's broken back door. The night felt sharper, the rain heavier, and the danger closer than ever. Police sirens screamed behind them, mixing with thunder in the dark sky. Marcus pulled Isabella behind a row of dumpsters, breathing hard. "They think I kidnapped you," he whispered. "If they catch me, I'm done. I'll never see my son again." Isabella's heart sank. "I'm so sorry, Marcus. Adrian planned this perfectly. He wants you out of the way." Marcus peeked around the dumpster. 2 officers were sweeping the area with lights. Another moved toward the warehouse door. "We need another plan," he whispered. Isabella nodded. "We need to reach the airstrip. If I get to my jet, I can send the evidence to the world. But how do we get there without police or Adrian's men catching us?" Marcus asked. Isabella hesitated, thinking fast. "There's a shortcut through the drainage tunnels under the city. They lead close to the North Valley district." Marcus stared at her. "You know about tunnels under the city?" "My father built them years ago for emergency escapes," she said. "I used them as a child." Marcus raised an eyebrow. "Rich people really do live in a different world." She almost smiled, but fear returned quickly. "We have to move now, before the police spread out." They crouched low and slipped between buildings until they reached a metal gate near the riverbank. Isabella typed a code on a hidden keypad, and with a rusty groan, the gate unlocked. "You remember the code?" Marcus asked. "It was my father's birthday," she whispered. They stepped inside a narrow tunnel lit only by old emergency lights. Water dripped from the ceiling. The walls echoed every sound, their footsteps, their breathing, even their fear. Marcus kept his voice low. "Isabella, why didn't you go to the police earlier?" "They won't believe me without proof," she said. "Adrian has friends everywhere. Money buys silence." Marcus felt anger simmering again. People like him ruin everything for everyone. Isabella looked at him sadly. "He ruined my family long before tonight." They walked deeper into the tunnel until it opened into a wider path. Suddenly, Marcus stopped and grabbed her arm. "Wait." A faint noise echoed behind them. Footsteps. Several. Getting closer. "They found the tunnels," Isabella whispered, trembling. Marcus scanned the area. Ahead, a ladder led up to a small street grate. "There," he said. "We can climb." Isabella climbed first. Marcus followed. Just as he pushed the grate open, a voice echoed down the tunnel. "Isabella. You can't run forever." It was Adrian. His cold, controlled tone chilled Isabella's blood. Marcus didn't stop, he pushed her out and followed, slamming the grate shut behind them. They were now on a small empty road. Old buildings lined both sides, and only one flickering streetlight glowed weakly. Isabella trembled. He found us. He's not giving up. Marcus grabbed her shoulders. Then we don't give up either. But before they could move, a black car turned the corner fast and skidded to a stop in front of them. Adrian stepped out. Tall. Expensive suit. Umbrella in hand. Eyes sharp like a predator. Isabella, Adrian said calmly. Come with me. This has gone too far. Isabella stepped back. You tried to kill me. Adrian smiled. Sacrifices must be made for the future of the company. Marcus clenched his fists. She's not going anywhere with you. Adrian looked at Marcus with cold amusement. The taxi driver. Yes, you should have minded your business. Marcus whispered to Isabella, run on my signal. Adrian's men stepped out with guns. Isabella gasped. Marcus blocked her with his body. You can't win, Adrian said. Marcus stared back. Maybe not. But I can protect her. And suddenly, Marcus charged. He grabbed a loose metal pipe from the ground and swung it at Adrian's men. Isabella ran toward the alley as bullets cracked through the air. Sparks flew as shots hit walls. Marcus fought desperately, every move fueled by the thought of his son. A punch to his ribs. A hit to his face. He stumbled, but didn't fall. He shouted to Isabella, go. Run. She looked back, tears in her eyes. Marcus was outnumbered. Hurt. Cornered. But he kept fighting. Because he had made a choice. A dangerous, impossible choice. To protect her. To survive. To get home to his son. And as Isabella disappeared into the night, a gunshot echoed. Marcus collapsed. The gunshot echoed through the empty street like a thunderstrike. Marcus fell to the wet ground, the metal pipe slipping from his hand. Rain washed over his face as his vision blurred. For a moment, everything felt far away, the danger, the fear, the pain. Adrian stepped closer, staring down at Marcus with cold satisfaction. Should have stayed out of this, he said quietly. Marcus tried to move, but his legs refused. His strength was fading fast. Behind Adrian, his men looked around nervously. Sir, we need to go. The police are on their way. Adrian frowned. They're useless. They'll just arrest him for kidnapping. My plan is still intact. He looked at Marcus one last time. Goodbye, driver. Adrian turned to leave. But he didn't get far. A loud engine roared at the end of the street. Headlights flashed through the rain. A black SUV raced toward them and skidded to a stop. Two people jumped out, both wearing dark jackets. Isabella. She ran through the rain, tears mixing with water on her face. Marcus, she cried, dropping to her knees beside him. Adrian spun around in shock. Isabella. The two agents aimed their weapons at him. Adrian King, one agent shouted, "You're under arrest for attempted murder, conspiracy, and financial crimes." Adrian froze. What are you talking about? I'm the victim here. She. Isabella held up the metal chip. Not anymore. The chip blinked blue. She had activated it. The evidence had already been broadcasted. Emails. Transactions. Secret meetings. Threats. All of it. Everything Adrian wanted hidden. It appeared on public servers, news networks, and international security channels. Adrian's face turned white. You destroyed everything. No, Isabella said, shaking. You destroyed yourself. The agents tackled Adrian's men, then pulled Adrian into custody. His screams faded into the storm as they dragged him away. But Isabella didn't watch him leave. She only looked at Marcus, bleeding, weak, but still breathing. "Stay with me," she whispered. "Please. Don't close your eyes." Marcus tried to speak, but only air escaped his lips. "Help is coming," Isabella said softly, holding his hand tight. Within minutes, an ambulance arrived. Paramedics rushed him inside. Isabella climbed in with him, refusing to let go of his hand. Marcus's vision dimmed, then went black. 2 days later. Marcus opened his eyes slowly. The bright hospital lights made him blink. His head felt heavy, his body stiff, but he was alive. He heard a soft voice. "You're awake." Marcus turned his head. Isabella sat beside him, her eyes tired but full of relief. "What happened?" he asked weakly. "You saved me," she said gently. "You saved everything." Marcus touched the bandage on his side. "Did I get shot?" "You did," she nodded, "but the bullet missed your organs. You were lucky." Marcus gave a half smile. "Doesn't feel lucky." Isabella laughed softly. "You're a hero, Marcus." He shook his head. "Heroes don't drive old taxis." "They do when they save lives," she whispered. Just then, a small voice cried, "Daddy." Leo rushed into the room and hugged Marcus tightly. Marcus smiled wider than he had in months. Isabella stood quietly, watching the reunion with warm eyes. Leo looked up at Isabella. "Are you the lady Daddy saved?" Isabella knelt and smiled. "Your daddy saved the whole world." Leo grinned proudly. "I knew he could." Later that week, Marcus was discharged from the hospital. Isabella arranged protection for him and Leo. She cleared his name publicly, news channels reported the truth. Marcus Dawson, taxi driver turned hero. But Isabella didn't stop there. She helped Marcus start a new life. A better home. A safer neighborhood. A stable job in her foundation, not charity, but a thank you. "Just promise one thing," Marcus said. "What?" Isabella asked. "Don't get chased by anyone again." She smiled. "Deal." Leo tugged Isabella's hand. "Are you gonna visit us?" "Of course," she said, hugging him. "You're like my little brother now." For the first time in a long time, Marcus felt peace. The night that began with fear ended with a new future. A kiss meant to save one life. Saved 3. And changed everything.